quarter-mile times in 1969 were no longer respectable figures. They were statements of intent. Mid-14-second passes were considered ordinary, high 413s were expected from serious machinery, and a select few factory-built cars were pushing deep enough into the 13-second zone to make seasoned drag racers uneasy. 0 to 60 was happening in barely 6 seconds, sometimes faster. These were not lightweight race specials or dealer-modified experiments. They were full production street cars with steel bodies, factory glass, and warranty coverage. By 1969, Detroit was no longer increasing horsepower cautiously, it was escalating openly. In this video, we are covering 7 of the most formidable 1969 muscle cars over the quarter-mile machines that defined the horsepower war at its most aggressive peak. Number 7. 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge. The GTO had already reshaped the performance market, but by 1969 competition had tightened dramatically. Pontiac needed something louder both visually and mechanically. The Judge delivered both. Beneath the bold graphics and elevated rear spoiler sat the Ram Air 3 400 cubic inch V8, producing 366 horsepower. While that number looked modest compared to some big block rivals, it understated the engine's true mid-range strength. On the strip, the GTO Judge consistently ran the quarter mile in approximately 14:45 seconds at nearly 98 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration occurred in about 6.6 seconds. Those numbers came from full factory trim without weight reduction or tuning beyond showroom specification. The Ram Air system was engineered to improve airflow at speed, channeling cooler air into the intake under load. That translated into sharper throttle response and stronger pull once the engine climbed past mid-range RPM. Torque delivery was broad and predictable. Paired with a close ratio 4-speed and limited slip differential, the Judge launched with controlled aggression rather than chaos. It was not the most extreme car of 1969, but it was complete. It balanced performance, presence, and drivability in a way that reinforced Pontiac's reputation at a time when competitors were becoming increasingly radical. Number 6. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 32. Ford's response to displacement-heavy rivals came through engineering discipline. The Boss 302 was developed primarily to satisfy Trans Am racing homologation requirements. Instead of relying on cubic inches, it relied on airflow efficiency and high-revving capability. The 302 cubic inch V8 was officially rated at 290 horsepower, though independent testing frequently revealed output closer to 350 horsepower. Quarter-mile performance averaged between 14.3 seconds at roughly 100 miles per hour. 0 to 60 required about 6.5 seconds. While not overwhelming on paper, those figures reflected a different philosophy. The Boss 32 featured a solid lifter camshaft, improved cylinder heads, and a bottom end designed to tolerate sustained high RPM. Unlike big block torque monsters, it built speed through revs. The engine came alive as it approached its upper range, delivering acceleration that intensified rather than plateaued. Suspension calibration mirrored its road racing intent. Stiffer springs, revised shocks, and chassis tuning provided composure under stress. Weight was kept lower than many intermediates, and that efficiency translated into respectable straight-line capability. In a year dominated by displacement escalation, the Boss 32 proved that intelligent engineering could still compete. Number 5. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. If the Boss 32 was calculated, the Boss 429 was unapologetic. Developed to homologate Ford's semi-hemispherical 429 cubic inch engine for NASCAR, it required extensive modifications simply to fit within the Mustang's engine bay. Shock towers were reshaped, suspension components were revised. This was not a routine installation. Officially rated at 375 horsepower, the 429's true output was widely believed to exceed that figure significantly. In street configuration, the Boss 429 achieved quarter-mile times of approximately 13/20 seconds at over 102 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration dropped to around 5.8 seconds. The engine's massive cylinder heads and improved airflow characteristics allowed it to breathe deeply at higher RPM. Acceleration intensified once the tachometer climbed. Ford upgraded cooling systems and reinforced chassis components to manage the added heat and weight. The Boss 429 was not engineered for subtlety or comfort. It existed because competition demanded it. It was a race-derived power plant placed into a street chassis with minimal compromise. Number 4. 1969 Oldsmobile 442. Oldsmobile operated under corporate displacement restrictions, yet the 442 refused to fade into the background. Its 400 cubic inch V8 produced 325 horsepower in standard form, with higher output versions available through performance packages. Quarter-mile times averaged around 14.2 seconds at approximately 99 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration occurred in roughly 6.2 seconds. These numbers placed it firmly within serious muscle territory. The 442 emphasized torque delivery and drivability. Acceleration was smooth and controlled rather than explosive. Suspension tuning balanced traction with ride comfort, allowing the car to function as both performance machine and daily driver. Even within corporate limits, Oldsmobile maintained credibility. The 442 demonstrated that refinement and mechanical consistency could remain competitive in a landscape increasingly defined by extreme output. By the midpoint of 1969, the horsepower war was no longer theoretical. It was measurable in elapsed time slips. Engineers were no longer asking how much power was appropriate. They were asking how much could survive warranty claims. Displacement was climbing, airflow was improving, factory ratings were becoming increasingly conservative. And on drag strips across America, showroom metal was running numbers that forced rivals back to drafting tables. Number 3, 1969 Ford Torino Cobra. Ford's most direct strike in the intermediate battlefield came in the form of the Torino Cobra. At its heart was the 428 Cobra Jet V8, officially rated at 335 horsepower. That number was widely understood to be restrained. Real-world dyno figures and track results consistently suggested output comfortably beyond 400 horsepower. On the quarter mile, the Torino Cobra delivered approximately 13.9-second passes at around 24 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration occurred in roughly 5.7 seconds. Those numbers were achieved in a full-bodied intermediate platform with complete street equipment. The 428 Cobra Jet emphasized torque density. It produced strong low-end pull and carried power forcefully through the mid-range. Acceleration did not require excessive RPM. It required traction. With available drive pack gearing and heavy-duty driveline components, the Cobra was engineered for repeated hard launches. Ford upgraded suspension hardware and reinforced cooling systems to manage the engine's demands. The Torino Cobra was not visually flamboyant. Its strength was mechanical. It existed to win acceleration contests through displacement and durability. Number 2, 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1. If the Torino Cobra represented intermediate muscle, the Mustang Mach 1 represented versatility under pressure. Introduced as a performance-focused fastback, it became truly formidable when ordered with the 428 Cobra Jet engine. Officially rated at 35 horsepower but producing substantially more in practice, the Cobra Jet transformed the Mach 1 into a serious quarter-mile contender. Period testing showed approximately 13.9-second runs at just over 103 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration fell to about 5.5 seconds. The Mach 1 benefited from reduced weight compared to larger intermediates. That advantage amplified the Cobra Jet's torque. Acceleration felt immediate and forceful, particularly in the lower gears. Properly launched, the Mach 1 surged forward with authority. Ford equipped certain configurations with competition suspension components and staggered rear shocks to improve traction. Functional hood scoops enhanced airflow under load. The Mach 1 balanced appearance with legitimate engineering intent. It was not built purely for racing homologation like the Boss 429. It was built to compete directly on the street and strip. In 1969, it became one of Ford's strongest all-around performance statements. Number 1, 1969 Plymouth Barracuda 440. The most audacious expression of factory muscle in 1969 came from Plymouth. The Barracuda 440 placed a 375 horsepower 440 cubic inch V8 into a relatively compact pony car chassis. Torque output approached 480 lb-ft. The result was immediate and overwhelming. Quarter-mile performance reached approximately 13.29 seconds at around 10.4 miles per hour. 0 to 60 acceleration occurred in roughly 5.6 seconds. Those numbers reflected enormous torque potential, but also the constant battle for traction. The Barracuda 440 was known for overpowering its rear tires during aggressive launches. Drivers required careful throttle control to extract maximum performance. When managed correctly, acceleration was decisive and forceful. Engine packaging required compromises. In many cases, power steering was omitted due to tight engine bay clearances. This reinforced the car's uncompromising character. It was engineered around the engine first, convenience second. Production numbers were limited, making the Barracuda 440 both rare and mechanically distinctive. It embodied the late-stage philosophy of the horsepower war. Maximum displacement placed into the smallest viable platform, refinement considered optional. By the end of 1969, these 7 machines illustrated the full intensity of American muscle at its peak. From the balanced identity of the GTO Judge to the high-revving discipline of the Boss 302, from the homologation-focused Boss 429 to the torque-heavy Cobra Jet platforms, and finally to the compact aggression of the Barracuda 440, manufacturers had pushed engineering boundaries without hesitation. Quarter-mile benchmarks had dropped deep into the 13-second range. 0 to 60 acceleration approached 5 seconds. Factory horsepower ratings became increasingly conservative compared to actual output. The competition was no longer subtle, it was structural. Each of these cars approached performance differently. Some relied on airflow and RPM. Others relied on displacement and torque. Some were built to satisfy racing homologation rules. Others were built simply to dominate the street. Together, they defined 1969 as one of the most competitive and uncompromising years in muscle car history. Now it's your turn. Which of these 1969 machines earns the top position in your view? The visually iconic GTO Judge, the precision-built Boss 32, the rare Boss 429, the torque-driven Torino Cobra, the versatile Mach 1, or the uncompromising Barracuda 440? Share your choice in the comments, and continue following for deeper explorations into the machines that defined the peak of the American horsepower era.